Welcome back.
Right. So let's take you to the traffic update. And yes, it's the roads have been this morning. It's quite been easing up. If that's anything to go by, would be on Twitter. Thika Road appears to be, quite free. A few matatus quite operating there, but most of them have packed. Jogoo Road is moving, but smoothly, slowly. Most matatus at this hour appear to have packed and they are not operating. The few ones that are operating, though, are charging customers more than is required.
Right. And those are some of the updates that are coming through my three routes. Traffic on Thika Highway from Kasarani is flowing okay. And several other updates. Of course, the situation will continue to monitor this morning.
Absolutely. That is the situation on the roads. If you know anything, hear anything, yes, still it appears there's some sort of a go-slow in this Matatu strike. Hash Matatu strike still continues. You can either tweet us at Sophia Nona, at James Smart, or at KTN Kenya, and go to know where you are and keep you moving.
Indeed.
Right. Let's take a look at the papers, Sophia.
Let's do that, Smart. The Standard newspaper today, the headline, focus stands to Raila over ODM conflict, and Orange Party leader battles rebellion seething beneath the surface. And we have several members here of the Orange Party. Jacob Midiwo, he's said to have backed ODM's Orengo for the Secretary General position. Of course, he since decided not to run.
Right, Dalmas Otieno appears to be moving closer to Jubilee, and Babu Namamba, who is gunning for the Secretary General's position, as it is. Well, and yes, Nairobi at standstill. That's also the newspaper that is covered for you on the Standard newspaper. How exams are driving thousands poverty. Those are stories that are coming to you on the Standard this morning on your front page. Picture of you there that depicts just the madness and the mess and the chaos that was yesterday. Well, on page 2, more of the chaos and punishment awaits Matatu crews for chaos. Identical twins to top examination chart to maintain their closeness. That's on page 3 of the Standard. You can read that on the issues on the road yesterday. Still a follow-up on the KCSE examinations as you are on the page 3 of the Standard.
Indeed, and it's an interesting story, James. The twins here, and they got the same exact grade on every subject. Linda Gatwiri, Brenda Kenya, B+ in English, A- both in Kiswahili. It's only in business studies that one got an A. The one got a business studies, one got a B+, the other one got an A. So they're twins even in their brains connected. It's a very interesting story.
Well, twin identical results.
Identical results there. It's a very cool report.
Absolutely, yes. The newspaper continues. The discontent on, as you had mentioned, on page 1, continues on page 4 of your Standard newspaper.
Right, and study finds HIV pill cures cervical cancer. It's also a report that's on page 5. The research was done at Kenyatta National Hospital, and it involved 40 women who were cured in 3 months. So quite some finding there. It's a region leads in disease. So cervical cancer caused by human papilloma virus, and this form of cancer is more than 5 times prevalent in East Africa, of course, than in the UK.
Great, absolutely. An interesting read for you there on your top daily today, the Standard newspaper.
Right, and then we have the pullouts today. Smart Extra pullout has the coffee culture as the headline, an Ethiopian tradition that revolves around a beverage. So there's an entire tradition. I don't know if you've been to Ethiopia. It's one of this whole traditional setup around just coffee and enjoying that as well. So it's interesting to read about that inside Extra, and also other stories inside.
Well, Treat Shoppers Innovation on page 6. children kept in the dark on HIV status. And yes, on Twitter, page 12 on the newspaper, it's St. Peter's Week. That apparently brilliantly depicting and talking about what has happened on Twitter this week. St. has taken over 2 million retweets, on their selfie at the Oscars. Just a brilliant piece.
That is huge. And there's Home and Away as well. Dream lifestyle turned nightmare, and this is all about your real deal and real estate. So build your own home while single roofs are a good option, and create the perfect rock and screen garden as well, amongst other stories that you'll find inside, including one on Nairobi lacks good offices, says new industry report. So if you're looking for an office, it will be
Don't look in Nairobi.
Don't look in Nairobi. Perhaps you want to go to the other counties. But the Daily Nation Smart is leading with the agony that was witnessed yesterday.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a huge picture there that shows the madness, the chaos, the mess that was Thika Road yesterday. That just shows me this is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 lanes just going in the same direction there. And Governor Evans Kijaro says we will not allow violation of the law, blackmail and impunity to continue. We should first remove the vehicles from the roads before we can hold any negotiations.
Right, and more pictures of that chaos. It was quite a crazy day yesterday. Number plates being moved from vehicles, from the taxis as well. A walking nation. You have quite a number of people walking. Kidero walking somewhere as well.
He was also stuck in traffic.
He was also stuck. That's the thing. Everybody gets stuck.
Unless you're the president.
Yeah, he can fly.
Yeah, absolutely. The story that covered for you also on page 4.
It's a long walk to work for residents. So it will be, we'll be looking at today to see how today will unfold. Hopefully we'll also be talking to some of those people who called for the strike and see what they have to say. And as far as the governor said, they won't budge on some of these requests. It's a move that they've made. Those laws are in place, and so yeah. But the ICC trial also continues on page 5.
Yes. Yes, this is, I think this is another witness, P442, who has been giving his account on, of the pre-poll. It's not yet on the poll, it's still pre-poll. So this witness trying to paint a picture of the competition then between ODM and PNU at that time, and talking just about, the situations that followed. Generated into peaceful campaign, then the election, and then the roadblocks and all this fighting that followed post-poll violence in 2008.
Right, and also another story that's on page 5. We talked about it yesterday. The fact that the cabinet retreat is happening over in Nanyuki at the Mount Kenya Safari Club, and there was that circular that had been issued that government meetings should be in government-owned institutions, and now the cabinet secretary is coming out to say that the reason they chose to go to Mount Kenya is because of security.
Good. So we know.
Privacy.
So we know. The next time a government, in any government institution, have issue security, they can flout those rules and say, we went to a place where there is good security, and we can, and we also need some bit of privacy,
So what we know about our government institutions is they're not secure.
Yes.
And they're not private.
And they're not private. They're bugged. By the same government.
By the same government. Quite an interesting, and we did say we're going to be hearing from them, and definitely that's what they had to say. MPs are criticizing, governors are criticizing MPs' plan to cut back the powers. So that is in the supremacy wars, and who's the boss of who has powers to do what, and to control money as well.
Absolutely. That is another fight that has been continuing. Yesterday, I think the discussions in Parliament started that would want to cut back the powers of governors, and it's been the emblem bill, I think national emblem bill, if you like, talking about the flag that the governors do fly, the title, Your Excellency, and for the wives, the First Lady.
Indeed. Another story that's also on that page is laptops case ruling set for next week. So those laptops that were eagerly awaited for to come through earlier in the year, the ruling on an appeal challenging the award of the 24 billion shillings laptop tender to an Indian firm will be delivered on Wednesday. So yesterday, the Public Procurement Administration Review Board commenced the hearing of the case, and there will be some way forward, perhaps, in as far as that is concerned. But over to Othaya, and there is a legal loophole that is keeping Wambui in the House, this despite the Court of Appeal having overturned her election.
Yes, and I think she went to the Supreme Court, if I'm not wrong, to seek for an interpretation, and her only bone of contention in that, not the ruling, was that the petitioner had a given time frame to bring through the petition, to file the petition. I'm not sure if it was 60 days or 30 days. Now, this petition that was filed to the courts was way above that.
Right.
This case also was similar to what Ali Hassan Joho had in his case, and his case was overturned because the petitioner also spent a lot of time, more time outside the legal time required to file the case.
Yeah, and also the petitioner is now threatening to sue the entire IEBC for failing to issue certificate as well. But in the meantime, Wambui continues to serve.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the back page of the Daily Nation. And police, quote unquote, collude with criminals, and police ex-soldiers, criminal gangs, and private guards cause insecurity. And this is what a panel that is vetting police heard yesterday, that collusion between serving police and ex-soldiers, criminal gangs, and errant private guards has contributed to insecurity in the country. Head of operations at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and former lead detective in the fight against dreaded criminal gangs, France Njiru, blamed some of the officers for involvement in planning and execution. And this is not the first time we're hearing about this, James. There were concerns earlier that ex-officers were were being seen as part of criminal activities.
It's true. But I think that's a question that we've never figured how to go around and how to go about it, because you have highly trained individuals who then are just allowed to join and mix the society without them having any sort of gainful employment, or they are in touch with the administration and the police unit. So interesting.
Indeed. And we also have the Star today. The headline: Matatus paralyze Nairobi transport, striking Matatus to be punished. That is what Engineer Kamau is saying, the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Transport. So talking tough there. So if these scenes are replicated today, we'll see if they'll be prepared for them. But I doubt the Matatus will want to, after seeing what happened to their colleagues yesterday, will want to do the same.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a continuation and coverage of that. The Matatu operators yesterday grounded the entire operation of this country, and every daily has had to look for a way to tell that story. This is the style we Matatu paralyze Nairobi transport.
Yes, another story here is governors to fight for equalization, 3.5 billion shillings fund. So governors have vowed to go to court if MPs take over the 3.5 billion shillings equalization fund. And money, as many analysts have written and argued, is at the center of all this push and pull with the various arms, the legislators and the governors as well.
Yeah. As the continuing devolution was. Right, yes. And CJ summons judges over injunctions.
What did you say?
Yeah, indeed, yes. I think the continued push and pull in the judiciary, judges or the judiciary has been accused of the many injunctions that are necessary MPs have said they are neither here nor there. So, yeah, a story that is covered for you there by the Star.
Yes, many people running all over to the courts for everything they need. So there's all manner of court processes going on. Nyanza MPs oppose quiz on governors. That's a story that's on page 2 in the Star today. Also, Rotich here saying I authorized cabinet retreat costs. Even as we saw earlier that he's saying it's because the Mount Kenya Safari Club is secure, is more secure and more it's more private as well. Right, vegetable suppliers, Westgate account, that process, we were talking about it yesterday, that the trial is ongoing, and page 4 of the Star has that. So we have a vegetable supplier who denied claims that he ferried terrorists to Westgate shopping mall on September the 21st last year. And James, we're of course going to be seeing so many people testifying in this particular trial. Yes,
I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, we just put the country and the viewers up to picture into this. The 4 who are facing this trial, the witnesses, ranging from the people who are shopping there, the people who are working there, the people who are outside, and just doing business. So it's more fun. An interesting trial to follow and watch and hear what comes out of it. They will be painting the picture of what happened on that fateful day.
And also on page 5, we have the ministry defending the 24 billion shillings laptop tender, and the review of that project started yesterday with the Ministry of Education defending the award to Olive. So this story comes at a time even as we're talking to the education experts the other day, and there have been quite a number of questions that have been raised over the project, but the majority leader did tell us right here on Morning Express that by May those laptops should be coming through, and that these are processes that had to take place. Of course, the question is, did they not know that there would be, tendering, procurement kind of issues to handle beforehand?
Yes.
There's a university unions may strike over 7.8 billion shillings dispute.
Well, it's been a long time coming. I think these the monies that were promised about a year ago when the last time they striked, and the money had been agreed it would be staggered into stages. So apparently the government gave out the money and to the university, and the university has not paid the university dons.
All right, and also on page 7, we saw several adverts now that have been put up in various dailies. The Ministry of Arts, led by Wario, putting up an advert to congratulate Lupita. Today, there's the county government of Kisumu that is also congratulating the lovely Lupita. So everybody, is there. Even you should put up an ad. James Smart.
No matter where you're from, your dreams are valid.
Indeed. The people, finally, police ex-officers behind crime wave. It's a story we've read about earlier. That's what the people is leading with today. And governors are also meeting to plot referendum, because some of these things they're proposing would need the country to go to a referendum, James, right?
Absolutely. I think it's just going back to the same question that has been the devolution was the governors, on one hand, the senators and MPs on the other, the executive weighing in, the judiciary being pulled into this. So it's that one story with the different angles, with a different take, and it takes a life of its own, twists and turns. This is not the first time we're talking about referendum. We did this, a few months ago. So yeah, I think devolution, like we should know, it is as a young baby, small baby, teething problems that is coming up, and yes, these sort of things are completely unavoidable.
And also a story highlighted on the front page of This People is Witness 422 targets Kass FM station. And ICC told that former MP as well as Sang called on crowds to riot after the 2007 election. So just some of those details that are coming from The Hague as the trial continues, that against the Deputy President and Sang. By the way, Sang, has he been attending court?
Yes.
He has.
Yes, yes, Sang is attending his trial.
Definitely attending his trial. All right, so grab yourself a copy of the Standard newspaper. There's the extra pullout as well as Home and Away. And just to remind you, today we'll be talking about land issues and of course an emotive issue in the country. It is critical and crucial one, and today that's where we're focusing on our spotlight, and we're asking you in our question of the day whether you think the Jubilee government is doing enough to address land ownership problem in the country. Send us your views. 22155 is our SMS number. You can tweet us at James Smart, at Sophia Wanuna.
Fine.